Good morning, everybody. Today we will discuss a case. I will take up the one case from the respiratory system. First, I will allow you to just focus. What happened? These three slides. This is the one slide. Just have a look on it. What happens in these? There is so many pathologies in the respiratory cases. You just have a look. There will be three slides. This is the first slide. Then I will start a case. I will pick up one of the abnormality. Next. In the last lecture, with the other batch, I discussed the how to diagnose and discussed the how to examine a patient. If you want, you can have the slides from the other batch. Last slide now you can see. Just focus on it. What happened in a collapse, hydropneumothorax, interstitial fibrosis, on examination. I'm sure you have seen the all. So I will pick up this one case of pleural effusion. The patient came with the complaints. He was 32 years old gentleman. He has complaints of fever for 20 days, the chest pain also of 20 days, and patient has cough for 15 days. The fever was mild to moderate. It was without chills, and it is used to more in the evening. The chest pain was restricted to the right side, right hemithorax, which is generally dull ache, but it is used to increase when patient cough and on deep inspiration, and also it has more severe when the patient was sleeping on the right side of the chest. He has also cough which was not productive, it was dry and irritating. However, there is no diurnal variation. On further inquiry, the patient told that he has some breathlessness. That's also on exertion, not on rest. He had night sweats and his appetite is less in the last 3 weeks. But there was no weight loss, no hemoptysis, no change in voice. In the past, there's no history of chest trauma, and I already told you it was dry cough. There's no sputum. No such disease he has in the past, and no history of any contact with the family members. Family history was not significant. No such disease in the family. He was not a smoker, but occasionally he used to take alcohol. That does not mean that we will say that he was alcoholic. Occasionally. When patient was examined, he was conscious oriented, but he was febrile. The temperature was 100.2 degrees centigrade. BP was normal. Respiratory was little high, 20 per minute. Pulse rate was okay. Patient had not shown any clubbing, and there was no cyanosis, no jaundice, and no palpable lymph nodes anywhere on the body. On examination, first chest examination, I want to stress here, when you are describing the findings, you should describe it according to these are the descriptive areas. These are the intraclavicular, that is below the clavicle, memory, that's a memory region. Somebody will teach you, and some read in the books and written is inframemory. There is nothing like inframemory, because on the right side there is a liver and the left side there is stomach. So there is nothing like inframemory, infraclavicular, and nothing like supraclavicular, because above the clavicle there is no lung. The small lung is there, which are also behind the sternocleidomastoid muscles. There you cannot examine. So supraclavicular is also bogus area. Some people will teach you, but there's nothing like supraclavicular. So infraclavicular memory region, suprascapular, you can read between the middle edge of the scapula and mid-spinal line. It can superior and inferior interscapular, subscapular just below the scapula, the basal. So there is a difference between subscapular and the basal. That's covering the basal part of the lung below the subcellular area, axillary upper part of the axilla, and infraaxillary lower part of the axilla. So these areas, what is described, I have described in this slide. This is nothing like this is up to this interspace, or this is due to this rib. It is by the arbitrary. These are arbitrary areas. One should know that why you are describing your finding. Where are you moving? So these are the 7 areas. These are nothing like inframemory, nothing like supraclavicular. So on examination, on inspection, the shape was normal. There is no kyphus scoliosis, no rib deformity, chest was not flail. You should have softish swelling and veins prominent. Why I have included these things? Because you should always see in all the patients when you examine a patient of chest. The respiration was normal, which was thoracoabdominal, but however, the movement on the right chest seems to be less. On the right chest, it is supposed to be less. The breath sounds are not audible. What that means? That means it's normal. For the 1 feet, if up to if it is audible beyond 1 foot, that means it is abnormal. Last time I discussed with the other batch, tracheal position could not be decided on inspection. Apex feet also could not be located on inspection. On palpation, the trachea was shifted to the left side, not left side. Apex feet could not be localized. Thoracic expansion 5 centimeter. Thoracic expansion and movement reduced on the right hemithorax. I have seen many times you confuse between the expansion and movement. These are 2 different things. Expansion is total expansion, which is measured by the tape. The movement, I will show you then the next slide, how to measure. The vocal parameters, so there should be no like, I have seen many times you use the word expansion and movement that's synonymous. It's not synonymous. The vocal parameters were reduced in the memory, infraxillary, subscapular, and basal areas on the right chest. So these are same described area which I've told you. This is nothing like inframemory. Okay. The lymph nodes in the neck were not palpable, as was seen in the inspection. There is no subcutaneous emphysema. You must see in all the patient. The emphysema subcutaneous emphysema, last time in the other batch, I told how to see it. There is no prominent veins, no chest swelling. So there was expansion was 5 centimeter. The chest movement was reduced on the right side, and vocal parameters was reduced. This is how to examine. This is while the expiration. Just a moment. And patient is to inspire, inhale. Now you can see the both thumbs are moving apart. In this patient, it was less movement on this side, right side. On percussion, the note was dull on the same areas which was, I've told you already, where the vocal parameters was reduced. That's memory, infraxillary, subscapular, and basal parts of the right chest. There was shift in dullness was present. Shift in dullness was present. I will further elaborate on the shift in dullness. The tidal percussion could not be possible. I will also tell what is the tidal percussion. You must do in all the chest cases. Okay. So there is dull note and shift in dullness. Shift in dullness means there is free fluid. Dullness was elicited in the lower axilla. This is generally in the lower axilla by having patient assumed a lateral deviated position. And then patient is turned. The return of resonance was demonstrated in this case, where was the dullness, and dullness by percussing, which we have seen while the patient was turned on the left side, right side, and it will become resonant. That means the shifting dullness was present. So when it's present in bronchosuspective fluid diffusion, that means it's a free fluid, not loculated, and it is also present in the hydropneumothorax when there's both air as well as fluid is present. In the normally in normal human being, the pleural space has some fluid 10 to 50 ml. This is which has low protein. It's very essential to lubricate the both membranes, visceral as well as parietal. I told you I will tell you how to do the tidal percussion. The range of the diaphragm movement estimated by percussion and is always conducted best on the posterior chest wall, as it's shown in this figure. Patient instructed to take first deep, full breath and hold it, and do the percussion rapidly. Patient should not be exhausted. Okay, and going back to this. Then patient is instructed to exhale maximally and holding this patient while the percussion procedure repeated. Examiner should work rapidly to prevent the patient from becoming short of breath. So this was at the inspiration, this was the expiration. The normal is the 5 to 7 centimeter. But in this patient, we could not do it because here there was a dullness. So we could not do it, but normally you should do. It shows sometimes the subpulmonic effusion and diaphragmatic paralysis. When the diaphragmatic paralysis is that the type of percussion is absent. Okay. the diaphragm is pulse is there, this tidal percussion would not be elicited. It will not be 5 to 7 centimeter. On auscultation, sounds and vocal sounds were absent in the same areas which I've told in the inspection, in palpation, memory, infraxillary, subscapular, and basal areas on the right chest. There was no prurora. Egophony was present at the upper part, which I will tell you just now, and succussion splash was not present. You must do the succussion splash also in all the patients, in such patients. What's egophony? Like breath sounds, because I could not tell you many things, because last time we discussed in the while we examined the patient, like breath sounds, voice sound also reflected by fluid or air in the pleural cavity and pleural effusion and pneumothorax. And speech is not intelligible; it's inaudible over the chest wall because it is not filtered. When constricted lung is separated from the chest wall only by a thin layer of fluid, attenuation at intersurface between fluid and two layers of pleura is selective at the upper part. Okay. With the result that the low frequency sounds below 100. Normally it is above the 2000 hertz are lost, so that only high frequency, because the balls A, E has different hertz survive, the speech remains intelligible, but removal of lower frequency, because lower frequencies are lost, there is a nasal bleating. जैसे बकरी बोलती है ना, ऐसे होती है quality of egophony. So if you just say the E is well ah, okay, it's usually detectable over on the area of the upper part of the pleural effusion, because there is some lung is pressed and some frequencies of the lung sounds are filtered out. So egophony, you must see about egophony when there is a pleural effusion. Succussion splash is generally in hydropneumothorax, and normally it also can be seen in the stomach, also seen in the very big cavities also. You percuss here, there is a hyperresonant area and there is a dull, and keep the stethoscope here and shake the patient. You will see there's some sound as is coming from the picture. जैसे घड़ा छलकता है. Okay? And that sound is known as succussion splash. But in this patient it was not present. The other system, both the cardiovascular, nervous system, abdomen were normal. The liver was just palpable, and the rest was don't supranomagaly or any mass was there. Now I will come to the how to write the diagnosis, because it's very important. Many times जब हम एग्जाम लेते हैं, examiner always asks what is the diagnosis. Where sometimes they are first asked us about the diagnosis. क्या diagnosis है? टीबी. टीबी क्या होती है? कुछ नहीं होती टीबी. किस चीज की? राइट साइड की. कहाँ की? ये पता नहीं. So you should always, I told you for the first 3 slides, there are pathologies. The first 3 slides I've showed you the same thing. So you should always find out what is the pathology. Let's see that there is a collapse, cavity, consolidation, pleural effusion, pneumothorax. First, you have to know the pathology. What is the pathology? Then, what is the anatomy? What is the anatomy? Which anatomical part is involved? Then last is the etiology, which you always tell first. क्या है? टीवी है. Okay, first you have to find the pathology. Cavity है, consolidation है, collapse है, pleural effusion है, pneumothorax है. उसके बाद किस लंग का है, राइट साइड का, और कंसोलिडेशन है सारे लंग की है, लोअर लो की है, अपर लो की है. Okay, then what is the probable etiology? As you can see, for example, this was a consolidation and the right upper low, lower low. This is just theoretically I'm telling you, lower low, and probably it was due to the bacteria. Suddenly, similarly, you have find the collapse, which is of the right upper lobe, and it was probably due to the malignancy which causes the intrabronchial obstruction. For example, you have examined and seen the patient has fluid diffusion, which on right side, probably it is due to the tuberculosis. So this is how you should, because why I'm telling you this thing, why to it? Because then you will pick up the finding like this, you will take the history. तो आपको पता है कि ये तीन चीजें मैंने देखनी है. So what was the diagnosis in this case? Now you see, it was the pleural effusion. It was the pathology was the pleural effusion, which was on the right side. Left side was normal. Probably due to tuberculosis. Probably. अभी ये probability है. ठीक है. This was the X-ray was done. You can see there's fluid on the right side. Normally 250 to 600 fluid should be required before it becomes evident on the chest X-ray, maybe the blunting, cause of the blunting, CPFL blunting. Okay, this should be minimum 250 or 60 ml of fluid should be there. When the fluid is slightly above the level of the upper portion of the diaphragm, it is the cause of the blunting. That it means minimum there is a 175 ml is required to do the blunting of the costophrening angle. Because why I'm telling you, many times the examiner asks you these things when you are presenting a case of pleural effusion. On when you do the patient is subjected to the ultrasound also. Okay. Something happened. Just on ultrasound. How to measure how much fluid is there? First, it is to be seen because ultrasound in the chest examination, in the chest has no role. It has only role when you see the pleural effusion. Many times the pleural effusion कैसे पकड़ा जाता है? Patient abdomen के लिए जाता है और पकड़ा जाता है pleural effusion. Because it is behind the diaphragm, it is generally not visible on the chest X-rays. So how to measure? The transducer is in perpendicular front में रखना है और dorsolateral chest wall पे. And patient is to do the maximum inspiration. And this distance is the measurement in the millimeters between the two ends. One transducer at the in front and the dorsolateral chest wall. And patient at that time have the maximum inspiration. And it should be measured in the millimeters. And how to calculate measured distance multiplied with the 20. Minimum quantity of fluid for ultrasound detection should be 100 ml. Even if 100 ml is there, ultrasound will pick up. In this patient, it was present. Now you can see in this patient there is a fluid, okay, and there is some red. You can see the red arrow. There is some focus, probably due to tuberculosis or something else. Okay. The patient was subjected to these investigations. Hemogram on KFT, LFT, everything was normal. Under aseptic condition, the pleural fluid was aspirated and it was straw colored. Color is very important, very, very important. Many times on rounds when we are asked or otherwise. Fluid क्या है? ये इतना fluid है. First you must see that उसमें protein इतनी है. So once you must mention what is the color. Then you have to find which is exudative or transudative. Okay. Why we want to distinguish it is exudative or transudative? Because when it is exudative means pleura is pathological. Here the transudate pleura is innocent. Okay. Here that's why it is very important to distinguish, differentiate whether the pleural effusion is exudative or transudative. Okay. And you all are familiar with this, the light criteria. I will again revise for you. When the effusion bed protein serum ratio is more than 0.5 and LDH fluid and the serums more than 0.6, or otherwise if you are doing only LDH, it is more than 2/3 of the upper limit. The criteria which I have mentioned you. So transudate can be hypolipidemia, congestive failure, prosectopyrgate, another in anemia, cirrhosis of liver, or nephrotic syndrome. So here, transulator, the pleura is innocent. It's normal. Here, by the exudate, this kind, it is pleura is pathological. That's why we want to know it is exudative or translative. This is many times it is asked in the question in the examination. Why do you want to know it is exudate or translate? The other analysis was done in this case, shows LDH very high, 500 ml, protein was 7.5, and in the serum it was less than 5. Glucose was 80 milligram, less, it was less, but it is very less, usually 40 milligram when the bacteria is present, like whether it's empyema or parapneumonia effusion due to the bacteria. pH was almost normal. There was many lymphocytes. Okay, very lymphocytes. But eosinophilial mesothelials were scanty. When this position is there, mesothelial cells are scanty. It cannot be malignancy. Generally, it is seen in the tuberculosis effusion. So this is very important, mesothelial cells. The patient with the blood fluid was also sent for the AFP stain, but generally it's seen very, very rarely, less than 10%. I think it is even less than 10% also. Very, very rarely we see, because this is due to the hypersensitivity phenomena. The focus is broken, some TB focus in the pleura, and there is a hypersensitive reaction to that. So generally we don't expect the AFP, and in this case also the AFP smear did not show any ENF. EDA, was 76 intrauterine IU per liter, and it is more than 40. It is important, but it is very non-specific. Generally, I am not in favor of this ADA because it present in lymphomas, many diseases, malignancy. So, for we have to pass the examination, but you should know it. ADA very many examiners are fond of asking this question. This is the nucleic acid amplification test, which is done here in our hospital, and done it is in the chest clinic, TB clinic. Even the small, with a very few micro tuberculosis there, then it can be picked up due to the PCR. And you know what is the PCR. But it was subjected, this patient was subjected, and it was not detected by even this method. Though there was no sputum, but just to complete the work of the patient, we have seen there is no scene if he was not present in the sputum, which was induced because the patient was not bringing any sputum. The biopsy was done. This is very important. This is very important biopsy. In biopsy shows the granulomas, which were caseating granulomas in this case, and it was stained. When the staining was done, the AFB was present. So this is very important investigation in this case, the present case. So this was diagnosis of right side pleural effusion of the right side, and it was due to tuberculosis because finally it has shown there is a granuloma because I have shown you it's a query probability it was due to the tuberculosis, but now it is confirmed it is a tuberculosis, not treatment. Generally, the anti-TB drugs do not filtrate into the pleural fluid, but however, because this is generally from the some focus in the lungs, thereby it should be treated with the anti-tubercular drugs. Many times, in some people say, I have also seen with a small effusion through the tuberculosis, it can be healed itself also, but there are always chances that it will reoccur. So it's always wisdom to treat the patients. You all know that the 6-month therapy or standard anti-tubercular treatment, which is the intensive phase, consists of rifamycin, isoniazid, pyrazinamide, and ethambutol, which is followed by the 4-month continuation of the phase, surrounded by the rifamycin and isoniazid. The role of steroids. The definite of role is not that important, but I've seen if you give the steroids for maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks, only small dose, maybe the prednisolone or 10 to 50 milligram, there are chances the fluid becomes less or dry very soon, and there are less chance of pleural adhesions and thickening. So any patient who comes to me with the tubercular effusion, I always give 10 to 50 milligram of prednisone for 2, 3, 4 weeks and stop it. Now the role of pleural fluid drainage. Generally in small effusions, this is not advisable. But in large effusion, because sometimes patient is breathless, you should do it. It also prevent the pleural thickening. Okay, this is some like intrapleural fibrillation by streptokinase, urokinase, so that this pleural thickening, pleural fibrosis can be prevented. But I have done few theses. It is not advisable, and this streptokinase is very, very expensive also. So I just told you because some people will ask you in the examination, what is the role of streptokinase, urokinase? So this is just for mentioning. But if it is the fluid is very large effusion and causing dyspnea, then you can remove. Otherwise, there is no need to remove. Generally, this is healed with the interval drugs. Now, I will give you two questions. Okay, just think over, because why I am giving you this question. This is generally asked in examination. Now, this was the case of pleural effusion on the right side, which are dull node. Okay, supposing and this was pleural effusion dull node and trachea was shifted to the right side. Okay, if trachea shifted to the right side, if now if in the same patient the percussion node is resonant or represent to the right side, then what will the diagnosis? Because the dull note is also dull note is there and trachea shifted to the opposite side. If the note is resonant, then what will diagnosis? Then pneumothorax. अभी आपको बहुत सिंपल लग रहा है जो मैं कह रहा हूं, जब एग्जामिनेशन होता है आप बहुत कंफ्यूज होते हो, बड़ा सोच के देखना पड़ता है, बड़े सिंपल सिंपल सवाल पूछे जाते हैं. Now, you have seen the tricky was there was a dull note on the right side. Vocal fermentation was decreased on the right side, but the tricky was shifted to the opposite side. Supposing in the patient or another patient, similar patient, it is shifted to the same side, that's the right side. Then what will the diagnosis? Just think for 10 seconds in your mind. Okay, thought it should be the collapse, because due to the intrabronchial growth, but pleural effusion is there, but along with the pleural effusion, there is a collapse of the lung. Many times such patients are kept in the examination. Is there a pleural effusion? The trachea is not shifted to the opposite side, to the same side, then you should also say the diagnosis is pleural effusion, which you have seen, because in general pleural effusion, the trachea is shifted to the opposite side, but in that case, which were given to you, it was shifted to the same side. That means it is due to the collapse of the lung. Okay, so that's all. Any question? Hmm? Thank you, sir. This is not the question. Pushkal has written. Any other question? समझ नहीं लगी कि क्या हुआ? क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछ रहे भाई. समझ लगी? जस्ट बहुत समझ लगी, अच्छी समझ लगी है। बोल दो, इसका जवाब दो, कोई ना कोई तो जो जवाब है। सर, कैन यू एक्सप्लेन एगोफनी अगेन? Oh my God. I think I have sent the slides to the other batch. क्योंकि दिस द वॉइस साउंड्स, जिस जो आपके कोई म्यूजिशियंस होते हैं ना आपके स्टूडेंट्स, उसको ज्यादा पता होगा उसके बारे में। ठीक है, उसकी एक फंडामेंटल, मतलब एक फंडामेंटल नोट होती है विच इज डिफरेंट, एक दूसरी नोट होती है, फंडामेंटल नोट होती है विच कम्स फ्रॉम द वोकल कॉर्ड्स, दूसरी नोट होती है जो नीचे से आती है ब्रोंकस से। तो इट कॉज द व्हाइट नॉइस, दैट इज द 2000। I have seen a told the rest is not filtered. This is filtered are above 1000 hertz. Okay, and the ball sounds are different. There's two types of the hertz notes in that case. That's why the some are less than 250 are filtered, others are not filtered. That's why the voices becomes different. Okay, if you want to read, there is a one book written by me, clinical examination in the medicine, which is available in your the voice sounds, but nobody will ask you this question. Nobody will ask, क्योंकि एग्जामिनर खुद ही नहीं पता इसके बारे में होगा, तो आपसे क्या पूछना उसने। ये तो मैं आपको वैसे बता दिया कि आपको अच्छी बात है कि जो चीज कहीं पता चल जाए, पर यू कैन जस्ट सी दैट दिस इज समथिंग विद द वॉइस साउंड्स इफ इट्स ऑडिबली आस्क्ड, बट नोबडी विल आस्क यू। ये तो मैं ही अगर एग्जामिनर मैं पूछूंगा, पर आपसे फिर भी नहीं पूछूंगा। I will ask you the DM from the DM student. Okay. I have sent the slides to the batch, the last batch, regarding the voice sounds. Okay. It is just mentioned to you. मतलब आपको जो आए नहीं आए, इससे आपको कोई फेल नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि एग्जामिनर को खुद ही नहीं पता इसके बारे में। कभी आप पूछ के देख लेना किसी से वॉइस साउंड्स का। ये जो आपके जो लड़के के म्यूजिक है ना, वो जानते होंगे ज्यादा, जो किसी म्यूजिशियन हो गए। और कोई पूछो भाई सवाल, क्वेश्चन। मतलब सारे समझ लगी आपको? So should I stop? Okay, then thank you. Stay safe. Okay. Soon we will see you in the Maulana Medical College if everything will goes well. Okay. Okay. Bye.